How do you get ready for an open house if you're selling your house? It's not just get the dogs and go. You want to make sure that you're ready, your house is presentable and looks showroom ready, right? Now, obviously, you want to talk to me and walk you through the process of what to do, get rid of everything, get in the right mindset, get your pets ready to go. You do a deep clean, take their beds and put them away. You want to get rid of it so it looks like it's inviting to everyone. Some people don't want pets. Some people are afraid of dogs. It just is what it is, right? Be kind and be conscientious of other people, especially in the Bay Area where personalities and cultures that come together and are buying houses. I have a checklist for you that you can check out once you're going. It's not something I give away until you're actually in contracts. But number one is declutter. Your house should be ready to sell, right? When they walk into that house, they want to look at a showroom. They want to look at a model house. If it's cluttered and dishes are in the sink or even in the dishwasher, or you have books lying everywhere and tchotchkes everywhere, and you haven't really packed up, you're not ready to sell. And that gives off a huge sign to the buyer saying, I don't know if this guy's ready to go. If I get in contract and close in 30 days, is he going to be out? I just sold a house and last minute they closed. We got rid of everything and had to do a dump run. Luckily, I had my guy come and pick up all their stuff. It was a couple $300, but it was just last minute things that had to happen before they put a tent on it. It's last minute stuff that really puts stress and strain on everybody in that transaction. So make sure you declutter, make sure you're prepared, get boxes. If you don't want to buy boxes at Lowe's or Home Depot, go to Costco, get those banana boxes. They're sturdy, they're great, and they stack well. Just something to keep in mind. Get rid of everything, get ready to do it. In our market, if you price the house correctly and your house is presented well and you do an open house that first weekend, your house is going to sell. You're only going to need to do 2 open houses, Saturday and Sunday. Boom, done. And then you have a couple stragglers come in during the week, and then your agent calls a day to bring in all offers. Sometimes when the market slows down, you have to do multiple showings. I only suggest doing open house once because open houses just bring in looky-loos and neighbors. Sometimes you bring in a buyer or two, but not always the most serious ones. The most serious ones are the ones that want to see the house by themselves without anybody else there. And by the way, don't be at the open house. Don't be at home showings. If somebody schedules a home showing at your listing, get out. Go for a walk, go for a drive, take your dogs to the park and go throw the ball with them. Get out of the house, let them have their time. And for heaven's sake, do not look at them on the video. It's creepy. But my buyers, the ones that I'm working with, they're always looking for cameras because they know that they're going to be very open about what they like and don't like about their house. And if somebody's spying on them on the camera, they're going to be less likely to talk about it. They're going to feel a little ick, and then they're going to not want to deal with that house. So organize, get rid of all your stuff, box stuff up, declutter your house. See that? I can't really tell right now, but there's more than 3 things on my shelves. I'm not selling my house. 3 things on any surface is more than enough. 1 or 2 is awesome. 3 things is max. Maybe if it's a big wall, you can put like 4 pictures on a wall, or if it's a big table, but just declutter and clean it. Have a cleaner come in before the open house, before you leave, especially if you have a hairy dog like mine. I have 2 dogs, but my youngest one is a husky. Never get a husky. They shed everywhere. I have to pick up a pillow of hair off the floor every day. So even after the cleaners come through, before the open house, make sure you do a walkthrough and clean everything. Get rid of the dust bunnies, get rid of the dog hair, and make your house look nice and pretty. And don't forget the exterior, right? You want to make sure your house, the curb appeal is the most important thing. It's going to determine whether or not a buyer wants to buy your house. Because if your house looks dated and beat up, they're going to think twice, especially when they're comparing it against other houses. They're going to pick the best house, the best price range, that looks the best and is in the best condition. So just keep that in mind. Next on the block, 44% of home sellers offered concessions to buyers in the first quarter of 2025. This is from Scotsman Guide. Their concessions are helping the buyer with points, the buyer's agent commission, or getting things fixed. that the loan requires. If it's FHA or VA, they need to have the Section 1 and the termite fixed before they fund the loan. Concessions, which included something that helped reduce the buyer's total cost of purchasing home. Could be the actual overall price, could be the down payment, could be points towards the loan, could be repairs, right? So expect that. Nowadays, and I think in Seattle was 71%, which is crazy. Yeah. And then Portland was next. Don't be offended when you look and say, oh my God, I have to have 3% to the buyer's agent and 3% for closing costs. That's going to become the norm. Now, is that something expected when you're brand new, fresh on market, you're priced right and your house looks great? Your house is probably going to sell pretty quick. Of the houses I've sold so far this year, one has reduced their buyer's commission to 0 because it was the agent and he sold the house to his daughter and he basically gave his commission to his daughter. So expect to pay commission unless it comes in where there's a buyer that can afford an extra 3% on top of closing costs, on top of everything. Okay, I know the weather's been amazing this week, but 2 weeks ago it was rainy and miserable, and then it got hot, and then now it's beautiful again. And guess what's going to happen? We're in April, May, June, July, and even August is going to be boiling hot. So make sure you get your air conditioning. Houses with air conditioning tend to sell for more. If you don't have air conditioning, your house is going to sell for significantly less. There's no correlation to the air conditioning and not having air conditioning. Houses with air conditioning tend to have updates, better kitchens, better flooring, newer bathrooms, dual pane windows, new roof, versus houses without air conditioning. It will sell, but for significantly less. One I did last year up in North San Jose. We got in a contract, we put the air conditioning in, I did the survey for him, and it was $200,000 difference. Again, no correlation to the value return on investment. Get air conditioning or have your air conditioning working. Make sure you call them now when it's beautiful out. Right now, the HVAC guys are twiddling their thumb wishing they had business. So give them a call. You're not going to spend as much money. This episode is brought to you by the Home Inspection Checklist. When you're selling your house, make sure you get all your honey-dos done. Download this checklist today. That's what it looks like right there. Los Gatos House of the Week, brand new listing, not my listing. If you have $2.9 million, 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,100 square feet, built in 1908, and it's walking distance to downtown Los Gatos. And here are the pictures so you can take a look at them. Beautiful. Nice gray. Yep, very nice. That's a nice looking bathroom. And then list price decreases. We've had 213 right now. This is the highest it's been for quite a while, but that's because we have a larger inventory, right? We're at 1,300 active homes in Santa Clara County. We need to be about 2,000 to make it a balanced market, but we have an increase in supply, which is good. However, houses are staying on market longer, meaning there are going to be more concessions offered. This one right here, this one's Gilroy. That one's a pretty looking house. Idlewild, 16%, I believe. Yeah, 16% are doing list price decreases right now. So just keep that in mind when we look at that. I already did that. Let me bring this over to you. Yes, I'm doing split screen. Full. Now, I didn't put this in order, but I can tell you straight up that the highest list price to sales price, that's what's going on here. Highest list price to sales price is 141%. That's crazy. Let's go to that one. Glen Harbor Drive in San Jose, right down the street from us. Listed at $1 million. They knew the house was worth 1.4 to 1.5, and they sold it in 8 days. They did not mess around. I think this house really should have sold for 1.5, but it looks pretty rough on the outside, so there's a good indication right there. Lowell is the highest sold home in Santa Clara County. Lowell Ave, Palo Alto, not my listing, took 7 days to sell. Look at that, majestic. That's gorgeous. For the style of this house, I think it's perfect. This thing's everything you want it to be. This looks like it's a basement maybe. Looks like it's lower. Yes, you can see the windows right there. So this is the basement where the laundry room is. So you get extra room there. I don't know if they count that in the square footage. Garage, laundry room, there you go. So it looks like there's a stairwell to the garage downstairs, maybe down here somewhere. The low 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 900 square feet. This is a 55 plus community in Morgan Hill. HOA is $250 a month. And the lowest list price to sales price started off at 1.6, took 66 days to sell. Guys, that's crazy. It's because it was overpriced and they just slammed it down, and then buyers came and told them what they're willing to pay. So don't overprice your house, guys. That will just ruin your day. We have 1,300 homes for sale right now. 213 of them are price reductions. We sold almost